Falcon fans, and of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan back talking Atlanta Falcons football. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. Chat is already live. Chat is already lit. T Will, former ATL Sports, one time for the fan. Big shout to T Will. Big shout to Miss Carrie. Big shout to but Bodie's best. Bodie 3000. Man, oh man. We are still in the off season. Off season talk tonight. For all you Falcon fans that want to join us, checking us in from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, no matter where you are. Check in, man. Big shout to T Will too as well. T Will, how's everything going, brother?
Everything is going well, sir. How goes it with you, Jack?
Man, a lot of work. A lot of work these past couple of days, man. But I gotta tell you, man, it's getting ready to be the summer, man. This is what happens during the off season, man. You know, schedule's dropping next week, right? So that's gonna be fun to talk about next week, Wednesday on the podcast. Um, but of course, T will, it's the off season, man. So around this time of the year, Falcon fans, um, just be patient because some things are getting ready to pick up after the schedule release. They have the OTAs and they have mini camp and open to the public training camp, which we hope will be back this year. Last year they only did 2 dates um, at the high school in Buford and then at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So hopefully they can go back to their uh, you know original schedule they had years and before that, where it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it might be the following week where it's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you usually get about 9 or 10 days of open to the public practice for the fans, which we can't wait because one time for the fan will be there. But T well, otherwise than that, man, how's everything going with For My ATL Sports? How's everything going with T Will? The 6 hour draft night podcast that we had, you know, was a lot for a bunch of us, man. It was a couple hundred people here talking Falcons football for 6 hours. So big shout out to everybody who tuned in that night, and of course, podcasts after that. But T, how's everything going over there in former ATL Sports World, man? What's going on with some upcoming shows? Some shows that you did recently? Anybody you want to shout out before we get started?
Hey man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who attended the What the Falcon show today. Enjoyed that. It was fun. Of course, my guy Scott Carisic, always fun. Shout out to everybody who attended the Sinners podcast, which did great, by the way. I think up to today it had 250 views, so a lot of people got a chance to take a look at it. If you hadn't caught it, please do. But no, man, all is well. No worries. I have no complaints. I'm here. That 6 hour show was epic. Matter of fact, I think we did that, and then we hop on one with Low afterwards or something like
Yep,
that.
sure
For
did. Around like 1 a.m. Hopped on the show
45
with Big
minutes
Low
to an
for about
hour.
another
So,
hour. Yep.
yeah, man, I was done after that. Like, I'll be honest with you. Last week, I just kind of rested, bro. That took every bit of ambition I had for about a week. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill. But all is well, man. And speaking of what's dropping, Falcons dropped their numbers for their rookies today, and I have a question for you, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? Are you ready? And chat, I have a question for you. And no, Craig, I'm not upset about the. You know what, Craig? I am upset about the pizza. I am because it looked delicious. Okay, I'll tell that story later. Anyway, um,
What? Hold on. What
Falcons.
happened with the pizza now? What's going
All
on?
right, all right. So told this story earlier in a show with Scott Carisic, but I went to go see Sinners for the third time because if I'm gonna do a podcast on a movie, I want to make sure that I've covered all my bases, right? I want to make sure I'm informed. I don't want to be up here
Mm-hmm.
just I want to have something to say. So I get there, and I guess this theater has just been they've been hit with everything. So the only thing they have left is cheese pizza. I wait 15 minutes for it. I get the cheese pizza. They give me the popcorn. The popcorn's scale. I send that back. Don't eat it. Whatever. Anyway, they give me this pizza, Jack, and it looks delicious. Jack, it looks delicious. I can't
Mm-hmm. But
wait
looks can be
to sit
deceiving.
down and
Mm-hmm.
consume this pizza, Jack. I can't wait. Okay. I don't know if you can think of a time where you've been that hungry, but it's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I had not
Mm-hmm.
eaten. and I woke up at like 9 a.m. that day, and it just the way it happened. So I'm starving, right? So I got my pizza in one hand. Now it's in an
Mhm.
open package because I guess they don't have an enclosed package to put it in. So it's literally on this sphere, and it's not attached to it, so it can slide.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind. So I got my drink. I have my bag because I got a notepad. Yes, I'm a nerd because I'm gonna take notes on the movie. Whatever, people. I want to be.
If you're doing a podcast and a movie review, it's
Thank you.
very important that you do take notes. There's nothing
Thank
wrong with that. That's not even
you.
it's not even
My,
like being a nerd. You're actually getting notes, which is important for your review. Because
my
sometimes people
wife
might
told
just
me I
jot
was
it
the
down
ultimate
via
nerd.
text, or some people might
Right.
try to remember it, you know?
Thank
But
you.
yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Kim didn't get that. She was like, "You're such a nerd." Anyway, so get in there. I'm sitting down. I go to put my bag down, right? And I watch this delicate, beautiful, succulent pizza just slide off the plate.
Mm.
Now I got my drink in my hand and I'm putting down my bag, and it's like I go to catch it, and it's like, no. And there's nothing you can do, and it descends to the ground in slow motion in a bunch of dirt. The worst place you could drop it in the world. So there's no way I can eat it. And just as I sit down,
You had a thought of trying to pick it up too,
you're
well,
goddamn
after it
right I
hit the
did,
ground.
sir. You're goddamn right I
Oh
did.
my
Have you never
god!
heard of the 5 second rule, sir? You're
Not in a
right, I
movie theater.
did. Well, I know, obviously. It's disgusting, which is why I didn't pick it
Good
up.
lord, that's part
Yeah,
of. Is that part of the
I was
review?
hungry. I was hungry. I was starving.
How many more
I,
slices of pizza do they have at the counter?
I didn't the movie. So I waited so long. I waited past the previews for them to bring me
Oh,
the.
so you getting ready to miss the movie now,
So I'm
looking for
right.
the pizza.
Well, I've seen it twice, but again, I want to take notes.
Hmm.
Right. I want to do a good job of this. You
And
know
if
what I
you
mean?
miss a piece of it, you miss 10, 15 minutes of the movie, that can miss your notes. You can't go back and rewind it. You're
Right.
in the movie
Exactly.
theater. I
Exactly.
understand where you're going here, too,
Exactly.
well. But at that
Exactly.
point, you had to settle for like some Mike and Ike's or some Reese's Pieces.
I was
At
so
that point, you just
I
had
was
to settle
so
for that,
hungry,
too, well.
bro.
Or
I
you
was
got to
so
DoorDash it.
hungry. Bro, I was so hungry. So I sat there, and my stomach and I are fighting during the movie. It's a great movie. I don't mind seeing it the third time, but my stomach the whole time was like, "This is some bullshit, D.
Mm,
Will. This is some bullshit." Like it was so loud. The person next to me was like, "Hey, you want some of this?"
mm.
Sure. You all right? Like I was starving. But
And
anyway,
even still
that's
today, I mean, there's a lot of people going to see Sinners too as well. Big shout out to
great
Michael
movie.
B. Joyner,
Great movie. Great
um,
movie.
the whole crew over there that worked on the movie too as well. Man, they did a great job. So yeah, everybody in the chat, big shout out to you all. I'm good, Adrian. Everybody in the chat, big shout out to you all. Big shout out to Smooth C. Big shout out to Deshaun in the chat. Do some housekeeping before we go ahead and start talking some Falcons football. We got some things to talk about. I know Falcon fans are interested in some of the topics tonight.
I had
Michael's
a
in the chat.
question for you, Jack. I gotta know. I gotta know this.
What about what?
The Falcons passed out their numbers, right?
Yeah, we definitely finna get to that. I know you finna get to. You might get to number
You know,
11. I'm guessing.
okay, so you know what? All right, so I'll wait
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I know how I feel about it.
yeah,
Scott and I talked about it, but I wanted to hear your take. But I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
yeah. We're gonna talk some Falcons football in a minute. Big shout out to DA Hunter too as well. In the chat, DA Hunter, man, Falcons schedule drops next week. I know you're excited about the Atlanta Falcons schedule because you are a diehard Falcon fan who travels on the road. So I definitely be, you know, prepared for what could happen. I'm hearing I can't say it right now, but I'm hearing some rumors, T Will,
You're hearing
right?
some
I'm hearing
rumors.
some rumors about this upcoming schedule, right? And we might have to travel. We might have to travel.
Travel.
So we could see about that, Falcon fans. Craig is in the chat. What's up, Craig?
What's up,
T Will, he's
Craig?
still upset about the pizza. Big shout out to
What's
Craig in
up,
the chat.
Craig?
Larry's in the chat. What a do, fellas. Big shout out to Larry. Jordan's in the chat. Said cheese pizza for a movie. Shit. Millie Mills is in the chat with the one time. What's up with it? Hey, Millie Mills is
Billy
in the
Mill,
chat.
what
Big
up,
shout out to
man?
Millie Mills. Big shout out to Miss Carrie here in the chat. Falcon fans, please hit that like button to support the show. 1 week away from our NFL schedule release, show 8 p.m. Can't wait to go over the schedule with everyone. And don't forget, Falcon fans, as we lead up to the schedule release, um, social media is going to go crazy because, of course, all the NFL teams will have their social media groups go out there and put out these videos, and they're gonna drop a couple sneak disses to some teams. Of course, the Falcons should have a sneak diss for the Aints, and I'm sure every other team in the NFC South is gonna have a diss for the Falcons too as well. It just you know how it works, T. Will, when it comes to these videos. In the past, people have thought the Chargers have won these schedule release videos. I mean, their videos have been actually pretty funny. Tennessee, of course, with their video recently going out, like downtown Nashville, and asking people about the NFL logos and people not knowing the logos and giving funny names to the logos, which actually got a lot of views and went viral too as well. The Falcons, I'm sure, is working on something cool this year, but that should be out around like 6:30, 7 o'clock, for the schedule release next week. So you're gonna hear a lot of rumors and a lot of um, I don't know how to say it to you, Will. A lot of fake accounts, pretty
Innuendo.
much. Yeah, a lot of fake accounts pulling up saying that the Falcons could be playing week 1 at the Saints or week 2 at the Bucks, and you just can't believe it. A lot of these games will get locked in early. So we'll talk more about the schedule here shortly because we do have some news for you all. And Jordan's in the chat too as well. He said, "I worked in the theater. 5-second rule don't exist in that awful place like that." Big shout out to Jordan in
What
the
up,
chat.
Jordan?
Aaron Jackson
What's going
is in
on?
the chat too as
That's
well.
my dude right there, man. That's
Christy Lewis is in the chat. Carrie's in the chat. We're gonna bring her comment back up in a minute because we're getting ready to talk about it. Jay Black is in the chat too as well.
Would you have eaten that pizza for $1 million off the floor?
Fuck no, no way. Wait, you said how much you said?
How much $1 million.
You said $1 million.
$1 million. What'd you do?
Hold on now. You said $1 million. Hold on.
$1 million.
Can't stoop that low.
You'd have to have surgical cleaner in your mouth,
bro.
But you'd be $1 million richer.
I can tell you how mad you probably was when you saw that pizza hit the ground.
I was so mad, Jack.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Yeah, because you stayed in line for almost 10-15 minutes, and of course,
bro. And I'm hungry. Yeah. I'm hungry.
But that's why you eat before you go to the theater and just carry in the snacks, though.
Bro, I was doing honeydew list stuff, and I just didn't have
time. Do movie theater food and expect it to,
I was just trying to satiate the hunger, man. Like I had stuff to do. My wife and I had a deal. You know what I mean? I was gonna go see this because she didn't think it was necessary for me to see the movie a third time to do a review. But I'm anal retentive, and whatever, Kim, it worked out. But I made a deal since I was gonna take the car to do that. She had to do some other stuff. I had to do some other stuff here for her. So I didn't have time to eat, or I didn't make time. So by the time I get here, bro, I'm starving. Like I might have killed an animal and barbecued it in that theater. That's how hungry I was. And bro, when that thing hit the floor, I was, oh my God. Anyway, we gotta go. Yeah, exactly. That's how I was.
Falcon fans hit that.
Wait, hold up. Ryan says, "Well, if the money was right, I'll do it." We are worse than the military, bro. Definitely would be easy, especially if I was hungry. Hey, and that's why Ryan.
Craig said for 500,000, he would have ate the piece off the ground. I mean, you're looking at $1 million. 5-second rule is in play for that $1 million. Now let's just say it's after the 5-second rule, y'all. We're talking 10-15 seconds. We're talking P. Will's trying to get up from his chair. Oh, damn. Damn. Gotta get the knack of look. Hold on. T. Will, count it, right? Count it. Count it.
What?
You got your, hold on. You got your plate. You got your pizza.
All right.
It drops to the ground. All right, count it.
1, 2,
my napkins, man.
3.
Am I drinking shit?
4.
Man, I got my phone here too.
5.
Damn.
6.
My popcorn and stuff, man.
7.
How am I gonna get this up? It's on my shoe.
Oh, God. Oh,
9 seconds and it touched your shoe.
Oh shit!
Now what y'all doing?
Oh my God!
Some of y'all might have just came from work and went to the matinee.
Oh boy! Oh man! Oh my God!
Them boots that Bodie be wearing, you don't want to eat off that.
Greg said, "Oh my God! Look at where."
Eat that pizza like the Last Supper. Craig said 500,000, 9-second rule. Shit. Craig said he taking that 500,000. People vibes. Jack Spade, the hardest working, hot sauce eating, drive-through riding dude in the industry.
Hey, shout out to Debo. He sent me a t-shirt with his logo on it. So Debo and I are going to wear that Thursday night at our new time for our show. So shout out to Debo, man. Just wanted to do that.
Three dirty in the chat. Everybody in the chat. Look,
What
Falcon
up, Three
fans,
Dirty?
hit that like, hit that share,
Oh,
hit that subscribe button.
that damn
Tag your
Chris is
Falcon
hilarious.
friends. Tag your Falcons family. If you know some folks that want to talk some Falcons football, we're here talking Falcons football until about 9:15 or so. Now, something that T Will wanted to talk about, and we do got to get back to Kerry's comment here, because some fans have been talking since the rookie numbers dropped,
Yep.
right? And I think I know why everybody's talking, right? Everybody's over here
Yep.
chitter chattering about the Atlanta Falcons. And let me show you why. The draft class numbers, as you can see, the rookie numbers are out. Now, you do have, um, let's see, Watts 31. You have James Pierce Jr. 27. You have Billy Bowman at 33, and you have Nelson at 69. But I think the biggest number that Falcon fans are talking about, T Will's number 11, Jalen Walker gets to keep his college number. Now for you, T Will, I know you want to get to me,
Oh boy.
but got to flip it and go straight to you here, T Will.
Okay.
Jalen
I
Walker taking 11. Of course,
yeah.
that is the number of, some would say, the greatest receiver here. Whoever
Oh,
played in the Atlanta Falcons, whoever played for the Atlanta
no
Falcons,
doubt.
Julio Jones.
No doubt.
Um, but of course, some would also say that, Julio did us dirty when he left us. And so they're like, pretty much the hell with Julio. And it's fine that Jalen Walker is able to use number 11. For me, T Will, um, have we got any reports that Jalen Walker reached out to Julio Jones or anything like that?
That
Or
I don't know.
no, you
That
don't
I
know?
don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well,
But
we do know the Falcons do not retire numbers here. Um, and of course, some folks has spoke about what's his name, Cody Bryant, who is the cornerback undrafted free agent here in Atlanta. Who some people saw his graphics, or a fan made graphic had came out where it has Cody in number 2. Um, which some people, mention, hey, that's Matt Ryan's number. You can't touch that. But as you can see here, T Will, Jalen Walker is going with number 11. Um, and fans are on the fence about that because of Julio Jones giving his number so easily over to a rookie. Of course, it looks like Julio, Rowdy, and Harry's going to be working on the podcast soon too as well. I keep seeing some
yeah.
teasers about that, so that's going to be pretty cool to see. Maybe they discuss it over there. But T Will, Jalen Walker, number 11. You and Scott talked about it. What do you guys think about
Scott didn't have an issue with it. I feel like it's tantamount to disrespect.
it?
Um, I mean, say what you will about the ending, but Julio Jones gave his blood, sweat, and tears on that field. He is by, and it's not even close, the greatest Falcon receiver that I have seen in my 54 plus years on this planet. No doubt about it. And again, you don't want to pull it. You don't want to acknowledge him in the Hall of Fame. Fine. You don't want to put him in the Ring of Honor. I have an issue with that, but fine. But I just feel like there's certain guys, even if you don't officially retire their number, you should put it to the side. Like you shouldn't just let. I mean, I just feel like Julio has done so much for this franchise. Really, just Julio was that dude. Definitely one of my favorite players. I hate the way it ended, but I cannot forget everything that he did on the field. Made one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in the Super Bowl, and if it weren't for Shanahan's foolish decision, would probably have been the catch of the year. So yeah, I feel like it's tantamount to disrespect. I feel like you should put Julio's number aside. I feel like you should put Matt Ryan's number aside. No, maybe you don't retire it, but I feel like it's petty. That's me. What are your thoughts?
Well, T Will, it's one thing I was saying about, the Falcons when it comes to, drafting some of these players and hopefully end up, retiring some of these players too as well. I mean, Matt Ryan was almost at the end of his career where he could have retired a Falcon, which then he went on to the Indianapolis Colts. Julio Jones was, you know, almost there at the end of his career. He did play a couple more years after here. uh, after he left the Atlanta Falcons, but you see he wasn't nowhere near the Julio Jones that he was when he was with the Falcons. But you're talking about, Julio Jones. I mean, what, 840 something receptions. I mean, 12,000 receiving yards, right? I think he's over what 50 some touchdowns, and he's still what second, first or second in the franchise
Yeah,
with touchdowns.
yeah,
Um, what, 7 Pro Bowls. I mean, this is a guy who's been through a lot, like you said, blood, sweat, and tears here with the Falcons. And I think something's going on behind the scenes that we do not know about the whole Julio Jones situation of
probably,
why he left.
probably.
Because you can see that there hasn't been too much interaction with a player who has gave everything.
Yeah,
His first 10, 11 years to the Atlanta Falcons
yeah,
before he went on to other teams. So
yeah,
it's kind of like, what is going on behind the scenes? Of course, the way he left too as well, T Will. Fans still remember that.
yeah.
Um,
That's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. So I think some fans have, called it out that Jalen Walker has, some would say some big shoes to fill because he's wearing number 11, and
He
we
does.
remember number
He does.
11 being on that field. And the great amount of years that Julio gave us. Here's the joke though, T. Well, do we wear our Julio Jones jersey and just put like the white tape on the back and then just write
Oh,
Walker, like how
no,
the
no,
Browns
sir.
fans do,
No,
or do we
sir.
go buy the jersey?
I'm
Because
not
there's
gonna
some
let
people
you
that's like,
that
hey,
Julio
I
like
ain't spending $135 on no
that.
jersey,
Nah,
cuz
man.
I got the white tape right here and his magic marker.
Nah, man.
Finna write this Walker on the back,
Uh, I'm
go
not gonna
viral.
let Julio like that. No, sir.
T Will, let
No,
me ask you a
sir.
question. Do you think, T Will, out of all the Atlanta Falcon fans who's going to be showing up in the Benz on game day week 1 or week 2? We'll talk about the schedules here. That's going to be dropping next week, but we don't know if it's home or away. But I'm just saying, T Will, of all the fans that's going to show up, do you think there's going to be one fan, at least one fan, over under, that's going to have a Julio Jones jersey with the tape on the back that's going to have Walker written in it?
Well, now that you said that, Jack, I mean, I don't know. You put it out there in the
Well,
ethos.
it's not going to be me.
I
I'm just
know.
saying, do you
I
think
know it
that
won't be you. No, I'm gonna say, look, this is Atlanta, and one thing about Atlanta folks, we are superficial. We like to look good. We like to look pretty, as what's his name said in White Man Can't Jump, as Woody said. We like to look pretty. So I'm gonna say no. This is Atlanta. I'm gonna say no. Nobody does that. Either they're gonna have Walker on it, and it's the number 11 jersey, or it's gonna be a Julio jersey. But I don't think anybody's gonna deface or defile the jersey and do that. I don't think
Mhm.
so. I'm going to take the under. What say
with the
you?
fan graphic? I mean, you talk about 72,000 fans too pulling up, so it's possible at a 72,000 fans somebody does do some ridiculous stuff like that. Everybody's trying to go viral in this world, but T was going to take the under. Falcon fans, Millie Mills in the chat. He said that gone. He said, F us. It is what it is. I'm more worried about is Walker going to live up to the number or not? Big shout out to Millie Mills in the chat. Smooth
That's a
Seas in
fair
the chat
point.
too as well.
He's
Like The
got a
Rock
fair point.
says, it doesn't matter. Remember, another Jones had the number last season too as well. I think the big thing about it is, Jalen Walker was drafted number 15. Of course, he went to Georgia. He's a phenomenal player. But people know that Jalen Walker is he's a big part of this team, right? So now that you see the guy's going to be out there playing first, second, third down, even if they try to go for it on 4th and 1, Jalen Walker's on the field. So we're going to say 4 down guy. And he's wearing number 11. Now, we do have to point out that Falcon fans, you guys see this, right? We're all fans. We've been fans for years. Michael Vick used to have 7. Bijan Robinson got 7 now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Deion Sanders had 21. Mike Hughes has 21. Warwick Dunn had 28. Mike Ford got 28,
that's true.
right?
That's true.
Xavier Watts is rocking 31 like William Andrews. Billy Bowman's on 33 like Michael Turner.
Maybe it's recency bias, Jack, but I just feel like and Dion aside,
Felipe Franks has Roddy White's number.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So fans can't complain, right? Big shout out to Jalen Walker. Big shout out to all these Atlanta Falcons, these rookies that's now in the building. Of course, the undrafted free agents too as well. I mentioned the fan graphic. I'm gonna try to pull it up here in a second. The fan graphic of Cody Bryant, which people are putting him in the number 2. Now, I will say this. Come on, Falcon fans. I know you guys want to mess around with the Adobe Photoshop and put some of these players in jerseys, but man, don't touch that number 2. Like, if the Falcons want to do right, just go ahead and retire number 2, man. That'll probably be what the first. How many jerseys have the Falcons retired? None. They retired none of them.
I
You
don't
gotta
think they
retire that number
retired
2,
a
man.
jersey. I don't think they've retired a jersey.
I don't think they retired a jersey. You gotta retire the number 2. Jake Matthews is
And
gonna,
Tommy Novus. And Tommy Novus.
and Tommy Nomas. Jake
Yeah.
Matthews drafted a Falcon, and of course is gonna retire a Falcon. That contract they just gave Jake to as well is pretty much gonna ride him out into the end of his career here with the Falcons. Grady Jarrett, I was hoping was gonna get to the end. As you can see with the Bears, that's pretty much the last ride right here for Grady too as well. So close. Same for Matt. Same for Julio. They was so close. But yeah, Falcon fans, these are the draft class numbers. As you can see, the rookie numbers. So the Jalen Walker jersey is probably going to be flying off. Pierce is wearing 27. Who had 27 before? Who was the guy that we drafted from? What's that kid's name? Oh, Kazi. KZ.
Oh yeah, DeMonte KZ. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's go to the chat. Let's see what everybody's talking about with the draft class numbers right here. Big shout out to Deshaun in the chat. Big shout out to Bernard in the chat too as well. Jordan's in the chat. He said, you'll eventually do stuff to honor him. Same thing the Eagles did with McNabb. Took a while, but eventually everything at the end of their career will be forgotten. And I think, with Falcon fans, they do have, a lot of bad blood for the Julio Jones situation because of the way it played out.
Yeah.
If it would have played out differently, as you can see, even with Matt Ryan, as Matt Ryan got traded to the Colts after the whole situation, remember that whole day, and then Mariota became the quarterback, and Falcon fans like, what just happened? So fans were upset about that, but just don't touch number 2. That's all I'm looking at. Please just don't touch number 2. I do think Julio and the Falcons will, probably one day patch it. I'd love to see Julio walk out there, of course, at halftime, would have like a Ring of Honor celebration or something going on for him, which I'm sure is going to be in the works too as well. But, Julio still gave a lot of years here, a lot of great years. That catch in the Super Bowl will still live on as one of the greatest catches ever. Yeah. Just sad that we couldn't finish the game the right way.
And Julio trained a lot of guys too. Julio, Calvin Ridley,
a lot of young guys.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley would not be the receiver that he is without Julio.
Mm-hmm.
Trained a lot of young guys, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, aside from that one, look, I love Julio. Mm-hmm. I love Julio is a gamer. Julio is about winning. I love that. I don't love the way it ended, but I love the way he went about his business, man. It's just a shame, It's just like I'm all about the name on the front, but come on, man. We watched this dude play for years. He's in there, Jack. He's in there. That's all I got to say about it. But anyway.
No, that's true, because it does kind of look. Somebody pointed out to me earlier that you got fans pulling up in there who's still wearing the Julio Jones jersey, and here comes the Jalen Walker jerseys.
Yeah.
And I know how people are going to take that. There's going to be a lot of people who's going to be joking on them. People like to crack jokes and insults.
They do.
Every time. So, that's why I mentioned that there's probably going to be a fan who's going to take the Julio Jones jersey the way Julio did us, put the tape on the back and write Walker. Like,
he might.
There's some fans who's going to do some TikTok stuff. I can just see it happening.
He might.
Dirty. Number 11, because of Julio wearing it, left some big shoes to fill to wear that number. Pam Jackson's in the chat. Big shout out to Pam Jackson. I love Julio. He was a magnificent player, no doubt. I think Walker will represent. Let Walker continue the legacy of the number 11. Big shout out to Pam Jackson here in the chat. Michael said, with Julio, it was a respect thing with money and blank. He felt he was worth more money. Big shout out to Michael in the chat. Kerry said Julio didn't even shout out the Falcons in his retirement video where he thanked even the Bucks. Come on now.
No,
they aren't retiring his number.
No, but he
retired numbers anyway.
He's right. Because, and I think I had a debate with somebody on that because they were like, it wasn't a big deal. I was like, no, it was a big deal. Mm-hmm. He did thank Matt Ryan. He in no way acknowledged the Falcons. That's true. And I'm not being petty. I'm not being petty, Jack. I love them both.
Look at Millie Mills being petty, though. He said, ain't nobody complaining about James Pierce Jr. wearing Richie Grant number. He said, "I'm gonna stop." That's who it was, Richie Grant, and then Richie Grant got 27 from Casey too as well.
I'm not even going to touch that, Jack. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. I'm not even going to do it.
Kerry
I'm
said,
not.
"Why would we have to reach out to Julio and Logan Woodside were the numbers?"
I
Sheesh.
didn't realize that. Thank you for thank
Logan
you.
Woodside
I
was
didn't
like
realize that.
QB9 on the roster at one point.
I
Big
didn't
shout out to
realize
Logan
that.
Woodside.
I did not realize that. So Jack Dylan Cease has a no hitter going into the seventh inning for the
Dylan Cease
Padres.
is he is balling this year.
He is balling out.
Grant Holmes actually is balling this year. He had those 9-10 strikeouts last week, but then the Dodgers started clipping on him.
He ain't balling
Um,
tonight.
yeah. Well, how much you got? How many strikeouts?
Well, he's down 4-1, and the Reds have. Oh, he's out of the game. Yeah, he's
He's
out of
out
it.
the game. They pulled him. Yeah, he always gets pulled early. What about the Reds pitcher? The Reds pitcher get 3 strikeouts? Is he balling?
Oh yeah. Oh, you talk about he got 6, bro. You made your prize picks? Oh, Jack about to do his dance. Jack's excited. Jack made his prize picks. I
Let's
know
get
that
it.
look.
Antonio
I,
Henderson's in the chat.
I know that look. There's my brother. What up, Eric
No
Parker? How
rings,
you
no
doing,
retiring
man?
numbers. Intent happening. Big shot to carry the chat. At least Jalen Walker plays defense
What
and
up,
wore
Eric?
the number in college. It's a new era of Falcons football, man. I believe that Walker will make. I believe that Walker. Oh, I'm sorry. I believe that Walker will ball out and do right by number 11. Big shot to carry in the
I hope
chat.
he does.
Let's see. Nelson's number 69 is just nasty work. Sheesh.
Leave it
Gotta
to
go ahead and get
Craig,
that one.
boy. Leave it to Craig. Leave it,
Sheesh.
leave it to Craig, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Craig is that dude, man. Craig is that.
God. Ray 50 said, he said Nelson pick 69. We're gonna call him Big Nasty. Sheesh.
Oh boy,
Lord.
Ray 50 from way downtown. Hey, did we ever give Ray his prize? Who was it that we were looking for his prize and he never got it? Was it Ray?
It was Dre Jones was one. I forget
Did
who
we
the
ever?
other person was.
Nah, you know Dre.
Yeah.
Who was the first guy who won it?
No,
Because
the first
we
one was
never got
Dre.
him.
The first one was Dre. It was Dre Jones.
It was Dre?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
my
was
bad.
Dre Jones. I don't have a way to contact Trey. Otherwise, it gets the YouTube account, but it doesn't like can't send him a message. You know what I'm saying? So, big shout out to Dre, but he did reach out like during the show, so it's still open for Dre to collect the prize. I mean, yes.
Gotta reach
But
out,
big shout
Dre.
out to
Reach out,
Ray
buddy.
50. We got to go back to this too as well. I'm going back to this shit right now. Pam Jackson's here. I agree. Number 11 is not the only number that players are wearing. Let's see here. Kerry said we let Young Ho Koo wear number 7. Man, Falcons don't retire numbers. Just don't think anyone wears 2 or 10. Falcon fans are here in the chat talking Falcons football. Jay Black said Julio can kick rocks. We will win a Super Bowl
Damn.
before we deal with Julio in any way.
Damn,
JJ
Jay.
is the GOAT, but
Damn, Jay.
it's AZZ. Otherwise, no sympathy.
Damn.
Sheesh.
Damn, Jay. Jay, let it go, bro. Damn, Jay. I know you bad. And I see his look. I'm not gonna tell Jay how to feel, even though I just did, but I'm not, because you know what? What Julio did was disrespectful, man. It was disrespectful. I hate it though, because he was such a great player. But I can't tell Jay how to feel, because what he did was disrespectful. So I can't defend what he did either. I just hate it.
LaMarcus Boyd, we got to get to you, LaMarcus, because guess what's happening next week, brother? The Falcons schedule drops. Let me tell you something about this brother right here, man. Of course, you guys know about the Rise Up Tour fan club and what we do on the road and the events and the parties and everything that we put on for Falcon fans who travel. Um, LaMarcus Boyd is our Arizona ambassador. He's also a diehard Falcon fan, and this guy right here travels to damn near everything when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. He doesn't care if the game is in Detroit or Philadelphia or Miami or San Diego or LA. He doesn't care. He's traveling to the game from Arizona. So big shout out to LaMarcus Boyd. I remember a couple years ago, LaMarcus did it was the game. I think it was Falcons played somewhere before they went to Detroit. Marcus hit both of those games, came back to Arizona, then he flew out to London. I believe it was. LaMarcus, tell me if that's correct. You had went to The Falcons game this Sunday, and then the following week you flew out to Detroit, and then after that you flew back to Arizona, and then flew out to London. You talking about Yuri type flying? Lamarcus Boyd is up there. He's up there with Deke Ruffin and those type of fans. Like they
I,
get around. That's the
I
West Coast group. But
the West
Lamarcus can
Coast
also
crew.
tell you, and let me tell you something. Lamarcus can tell you about our West Coast Falcon fans. A lot of those Falcon fans that you guys don't see on social media. The West Coast is deep with Falcon fans. And we played in Arizona last year or a couple years ago. Man, I got a chance to meet a lot of them. And big shout out to all the Falcon fans that showed up to the event that we had out there Saturday night and, of course, Friday night and our tailgate Sunday in Arizona. But Lamarcus Boyd is one of the reasons why all these fans had a great time out there in Arizona. He's there. Man, he showed up to the hotel like 11 o'clock when we landed, had everything set up for the fans. We had the meet and greet the Friday night, and of course went out too as well. Everything in Arizona is like super chill and super laid back. So for fans that's traveling, next week Wednesday we get to find out where the Falcons are playing. We already know who we're playing, where and when the Falcons will be playing those teams, and hopefully we can get Lamarcus Boyd to stop by the channel and talk some Falcons football and the schedule with us too as well. I already have some Falcon fans joining us next week for the schedule release too. King Richie's in the chat. He said, "Fellas, what's good?" Big shout out to King Richie. No Carrie tonight, no Bodie
Hey,
tonight. Big shout out to Carrie and Bodie too as well. Eric Parker's in here talking that trash. But hold on, let me check. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. I'm checking Bronny stats. Um
oh wow.
says here he's
Oh, oh wow.
says here he's
Oh, that's cold, man. That's you ain't right, man.
says here
You're
he's
not
not
right.
in the playoffs.
That's cold.
Falcon
That's
fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Carrie said Felipe Franks is wearing number 84. Come on. CP's number. That's Roddy White. DSGB Hall's in the chat. What's good? Big shout out to DSGB Hall with the one-time emoji. Falcon fans, use the one-time emoji too as well when you're checking in. And big shout out to everybody in the chat. We're going to do a check-in in a minute. I want to get a major shout out to everybody. I want to find out what's going on. Here we all at. Hey, I can't wait for this season. Have you seen the Penix interview? Is he speaking to Carrie in the chat? Big shout out to everybody talking Falcons football. Ray 50. You want to read this one? You want to read this one, T Will?
big six.
Bruh, bruh, bruh,
Oh wow.
bruh,
Oh,
bruh.
wow. No, that deserves a wow, man. Wow. We need Carrie here to read that. Big 69 is gonna protect our pause. Yeah. Yeah.
We're throwing
Yeah.
a flag on this one.
Damn, Ray. Yeah, Ray.
I'm
We got to
tired of this
flag
shit,
you
Ray
on that
50.
one, buddy.
I'm
We got to
tired of this
flag
shit.
you. Unnecessary use of innuendo on Ray 50. We love it, but it's still 15 yards, buddy. Keep it coming. But we got a 15-yard penalty, buddy. Sorry about that. But it was great. Keep them coming. Damn.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Eric Parker's in the chat. We're all having a good time here talking Falcons football. Talked a little bit about the rookie numbers, of course, that just dropped today. Now it's time to go start purchasing these Falcon jerseys too as well. Some of this merch is going to be dropping. They're going to have a big sale. They always have it in the summer. It's going to be like a 50% off. It's going to be a crazy sale with Fanatics, and of course the Falcons might have one that you'll see drop too as well. They usually do it like once or twice before the season starts. So Falcon fans, be prepared because that's your chance to grab some of those jerseys and some of those gear. T, I know you're big on those Braves hats and those Falcon hats and those gear. This is like everything for Atlanta, not just Falcons. This is like Fanatics Day. You know what I'm saying? So be prepared for that because it's an opportunity to grab, some really cool Falcons merch. I think this is the year. I think this is the year that we get back on track, that we get back to the playoffs. Hell, I'm calling the division. The way I'm looking at it, I'm calling the division right now, T Will. Because on paper and on the field, this team looks damn good. I know they're working out right now. I know it's shorts and t-shirts, and everybody's in their workout phase. But I'm looking at these names, T Will. Man, I gotta go over, something that's very important too as well, outside of the schedule. We're gonna get to that shortly. Because the Falcons also, let me see this here as I pull this up. Here we go. The Falcons also, have their schedule released next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. So Rich McKay and the guys and NFL committee, I'm sure they're getting the schedule together now. But T will NFL on Fox is saying that the strength of schedule this year, the hardest strength of schedule in the NFL is the New York Giants, followed by the Cleveland Browns with Shadur. Number
How did
3 is the
that happen?
Detroit Lions. What's up, T Will?
How did that happen? How did the Giants, who sucked, let's be honest, how did they get the hardest schedule in the
Well,
NFL?
when you suck, T Will, I'm guessing you're fighting from the bottom. It is kind of hard to get to the top.
Yeah, I get it, but your schedule should be easy. You should get the last place schedule.
You're also playing the Eagles twice.
Oh,
You're playing the Commanders and the Cowboys. To the Giants, that's
I
0-6.
I got you.
You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes
And we haven't even got outside the division yet.
that makes sense. Okay,
So, and the Browns, you know why? Because the Browns, I mean, even with that defense that they do have, and some of the weapons on offense, I do think they still can't beat the Ravens. They won't be able to beat the Bengals, and they're gonna have a tough time with the Steelers. And look at their quarterback room.
well, they got 4.
Shit, I might. Hell, at this point, it might even take a couple more.
Oh wow! Now, Jack, I'm gonna tell you something, buddy. You cannot go and play for the Browns. Okay, I'm sorry.
We ain't gonna try to do that. We ain't gonna try to do that. It's Falcons all day. Falcons all day. Let's get back to the housekeeping here before we get to the next topics. I know the strength of schedule is up on the board. I do want to catch up with the chat. Chat, y'all been so amazing. Like
Yes,
one
they
time
have.
for the fan, from the fan, for the fan. Like this is why we do this show, is because of the chat, and the chat is just great every time we join and we talk Falcons. You guys bring the questions, you guys bring the comments. You guys are real positive about the team too, as well. Even during the season when we lose, I know we come in here and crack jokes and all that type of stuff, but we all know that we have work the next day. We have families we got to take care of. We got things to deal with, right? Nobody's sitting outside of Flowery Branch, with a gasoline can. It ain't going down like that. Like, so Falcon fans, like, enjoy this off season, but we do love going to the chat. And I do apologize again for draft night. The chat was just ridiculous. It was Terry, you saw that. It was
Oh, yeah,
crazy to bring up
it was
all
great.
the comments
It was.
from that day. So for everybody in the chat, we do respect everybody's opinion. That's what One Time for the Fan is about. It's really from the fan for the fan. So continue bringing the questions in the comments. We're going to do the best we can to make sure we get all the comments on the screen too, as well, so that way everybody can talk amongst each other within the chat. And you guys have also been respectful to each other. So big shout out to everybody who shows up to One Time. Um, you know, ready to talk some Falcons football. Ray 50 said, how many primetime games we gonna get this year? That's what I'm looking at. And that's what we wanted to talk about too as well. Let me go ahead and clear some of this stuff up on the screen, and then we'll start getting to this Falcons schedule that I want to talk about. We got about 15 minutes left here in the show. Philadelphia Eagles number 4 strength of schedule. T will. I'm pretty sure when you're the champs, that they're always going to try to push you up against tough opponents. And then
As
the
they
Vikings
should. That makes sense.
an
That
interesting
makes sense.
last year with Sam Darnold. No Sam Darnold this year. It's going to be JJ. What's his name? JJ McCarthy. That's his name. I can't remember his name. But JJ is going to be up for a tall task this year, playing with the Minnesota Vikings with Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Let's see what they can do with the second-year quarterback. Now, T will to the easiest strength of schedule next year. The 49ers, who we play. T will.
Mm-hmm.
The New England Patriots, who we play.
Mm.
T will. The New Orleans Saints, who we play twice.
Damn, Jordan, both of your teams are on there, bud.
T will.
The Saints suck, by the way.
T will. Hold on. The Buffalo Bills, who we play at the Benz.
Who don't suck,
T will.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah.
Falcon fans, when it comes to the easiest strength of schedule, the Falcons have to face all these opponents who's ranked right here in the top 5 besides them. T will, going over the strength of schedule, hardest to easiest, I'm going to tell you right now, we talked about this years before. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket when it comes to the strength of schedule, the easiest and hardest. Remember what happened in the past when they said the Falcons have the hardest schedule, they have the easiest schedule, they have the toughest schedule? I'm tired of this shit. You know how it is when you go out there. You got to play the game to win, right? The Dolphins week 5 might be 4-1. You feel what I'm saying? Seattle week 7 might be 6 and
And
six
that's
and one.
true. That's true.
You
You
never
can't
know
tell.
about these
Right.
teams.
You don't.
San
You can't
Francisco can
tell.
be 1-16 when we go play them the final week. You never
Right.
know what could be
You never
happening.
know. You never
But they're
know.
saying right now on paper that this is the strength of schedule from NFL on Fox 1 week before the schedule release. T Will, let's get your thoughts. Chat, let's get your thoughts about this, about the strength of schedule, because Falcon fans are going to this shit saying the same thing. And don't forget, I am looking at it on both sides of the fence, but I have called out here on the podcast that we playing the Colts this year and the Colts suck. We're playing the Patriots this year and the Patriots suck and they're going to continue to suck.
Hey,
We're
sucks.
playing the Jets. We're playing the Dolphins. We're playing the Cardinals. I'm counting up these victories in my head
They
that the
suck.
Falcons should be able to go out there and take care of.
Should be able to, yes.
I'm counting that 49ers a win too. The toughest team I see here that we have to play, T Will, that we have to play is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But the Bills are coming to the Dome. Remember last time we played them, we almost beat them in the damn snow.
Yeah, we did.
So for Falcon fans that do go off of these type of, information from NFL and Fox and different journalists and stuff, this is why we have podcasts. We can talk about it amongst each other. T Will, the strength of schedule. How you feeling when it goes to, I guess, when it looks at the hardest to the easiest side for NFL on Fox?
It's kind of tough, Jack, because to your point, a team may suck last year, but that doesn't mean that they're going to suck this upcoming year. It doesn't mean that. They could be fine. They could be great. They could go to the Super Bowl. You don't know. Now, I mean, again, there's certain things within reason, like, but you just never know. So I don't like, I mean, I get why they do it, but because of the variables, it's very difficult to assess how good a team is going to be. Let's say you had a team with a bunch of rookies last year, and this year they all get it.
Mm-hmm.
This year they're all on the same page. They're in their second year in their system. They come out and they kill it, and then what's supposed to be an easy game may end up being a 12-win team. So it's I don't like to go by that, Jack. You kind of have to, but I don't like going by that, by saying, oh, you've got the easiest schedule, you've got the fourth easiest schedule, because you just never know, right? You just never know. So I agree with you. It is unpredictable, and you just can't say. So yeah. I agree 100%.
Falcon fans, what's your thoughts on that? Millie Mill said, facts, Jack. Just lace them up. Everybody go. You know how it is, man. He said, what's that? He said, facts, Jack. Just lace them the F up. Yeah, everybody hard. That is true. You're gonna have some tough games this year. Eric Parker said they also had those opponents scheduled before last season ended too, as well. So I'm guessing how they're looking at that. Eric Parker also changed his profile picture. Just want to let everybody know that.
Oh wow.
He's talking big shit in the chat.
Wow.
King Richie in the chat. I remember he just asked the question too as well. Let's get back to King Richie's question. He said, "How you feeling about the defensive coaching staff this year, Jack?" I'm fired up, just like Jax is when he's getting ready to call Shadeur. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
That's a wow, sir. Give yourself a wow. That's a wow.
Okay, just one. Hold on, I got you.
Yeah.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's go back to Eric Parker with the picture here. Schedule release next week. T Will, can't wait. We're gonna have some Falcon fans in here talking Falcons football. We're gonna have to talk about the schedule. Rise Up Tour. There's gonna be a lot of information from the Rise Up Tour because fans are excited about what's going to happen this year. Thomas is already posting stuff in the Rise Up Tour group, so you guys probably saw some. I don't know. I told spoiler alerts. I guess I don't know. Like Thomas, I don't know how Too Short's name got dropped. I don't know, but hey, we're gonna turn up. Falcon fans, we're gonna turn up this year. And don't forget, for those that traveled with us in the past to Arizona, you guys saw what we did last time. We took over that whole block. T Will.
Yes, sir.
We took over that whole block by the stadium.
The block was hot.
And we're talking about, and I don't just mention the Rise Up tour like we're not talking about Falcon fans. We are all Falcon fans.
All of us.
So it doesn't matter if you're a tour member or if you wasn't a tour member. There was majority tour members out there. But we are all Falcon fans. When I told you that we took that block over, of course everybody was there for the Rise Up Tour fan club party. And even across the street, Nick Cannon was performing across the street. Nick Cannon was performing across the street. I don't know if it was wilding out or what it was. But some folks left over there and came over there and was like, Is that Pastor Troy? Yes, it is. Well, we got something even better for y'all this year. Of course, Troy's still rocking. Troy is great too as well. Big shout out to Pastor Troy. Whenever he puts on some of these events, make sure y'all go out there and check it out. I know he has a he's looking for I think an artist too as well coming up. It's gonna be like the best like up and coming hip hop artist that he's looking for, and they're performing at Reverb. I think he just put it on his page recently. Y'all go out there and support Troy, man. This is great when you get the chance to work with Pastor Troy. Because I grew up listening to Troy, man, on Vice Versa and DSGB and everything, man, from what they were talking about. Help Me Rhonda, man. I'm talking about Troy, Pastor. To now actually being, inside him as he's performing on stage or working with him, in Vegas or, he got a great team too as well. Big shout out to Young Jock too as well, right? Like a lot of these artists we grew up listening to, but they do put on a lot for the city, man. So big shout out to those artists too as well. Let's see. Pam Jackson's in the chat. The weakest can be the strongest. The strongest can be the weakest. I will wait till they hit the field. That's right, Falcon fans. That is right. Big shout out. You saw the question earlier about how do I feel about the Falcons defensive coaching staff. I feel great, man. Like Jeff Ulbrich, Nate Ali, even the new linebackers coach. And don't forget Jerry Gray is still in the building, and Raheem gets to work with these guys. Right now, of course, it didn't work out well with Jimmy Lake, but we all had our doubts about Jimmy Lake before the season started with Jimmy Lake. So now that Jimmy Lake is up out of here, we have a guy who I do have to put this out there because Jeff Ulbrich has to relive that moment that Raheem Morris is trying to relive too as well. Remember 2016?
Look at Craig's chat, man. Craig is going off tonight.
He said, "Remember chat hitting." He said, "Remember chat that hitting the like button is more safe and secure than the iPad at Jeff Ulbrich's house." That's crazy.
Oh, that damn Craig is a savage, boy.
I just don't understand how the iPad is just left out. Like my phone is just sitting right here. I can throw it. I could throw it in different rooms in the house, and no way would you be able to get into this phone. But still, I still don't understand. Yeah, man. It's going down in a major way, man. Just know that it's going down in a major way. But with the Falcons defensive coaching staff, they're working with some good guys too as well. I mean, Jesse Bates still back there with Jerry Gray, AJ Terrell, and they're excited too as well. You have two veterans that can, easily, help these young guys. And of course, you have Leonard Floyd in the building. Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. They're going to make a lot of noise this year, but they're going to be working with some good guys with Nate Ali. And of course, Zach Harrison. We don't mention Zach Harrison much on this channel, but low key, Zach Harrison might be your Jonathan Babineau long term. He might be your Courtney Upshaw here every now and then. Like you need a guy like Zach Harrison to stick around with the Falcons, man. So I gotta be 100% real when I say I'm rooting for Zach Harrison to step up here in a major way this season. I heard he's also I guess he's gained some muscle and some more weight because he knows what he's getting ready to do this year is going to be important for these Falcons defensive front. So big shout out to Zach Harrison and big shout out to everybody from the Falcons. Quick show tonight. We just wanted to jump on here and talk some Falcons football with you all because everybody's just excited to be a Falcon fan this offseason. I think we won the draft. I think we're winning the season low key outside of the Kirk Cousins situation. Damn. I had to make it a whole hour without mentioning Kirk Cousins.
I had to say it.
But we're not going to go into a Kirk Cousins conversation here, so don't worry.
I mentioned it twice. She's cursing you out right now, Jack.
Yeah. He said, I haven't heard Upshaw name in a minute. Yeah, man. There's a couple guys that those plug and play guys, even 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Zach Harrison's contract is not going to be heavy, right? So, you can get a guy that's going to be here for quite some time, unless he produces, 7, 8, 9, 10 sacks. Then the numbers and the agents start calling, right? So, big shout to Zach Harrison here in the chat. ATO Georgia Faithful said, what it do? But T
What it
Will,
do?
man, we did
What
want to
it
just jump
do?
on tonight to talk a little Falcons. Sunday night, if I'm not, too busy playing golf, we should be back with some more Falcons football talk. I know next week, Wednesday, we have a lot of people joining us on One Time for the Fan, talking about the Falcons schedule release. T Will, I'm sure you'll be here too as well. We're going to have a great time talking about who the Falcons, where the Falcons, when the Falcons will play. T Will, let's go ahead and get to some shout outs so we can go ahead and get up out of here. For my ATL Sports, I know you guys have some shows coming up. Please drop your schedule so fans can know when you're talking about some sports or another movie or TV show review. And we can go ahead and get up out of here.
Yes, sir. All right. So tomorrow, myself and John will be doing the morning chop. Couldn't get it done today, so we'll be doing it tomorrow, 8:45 in the morning. Myself and John from Out of Your Falcon Mind will be talking about these Braves. Hopefully, talking about a Braves victory. They've come back to cut it to 4-3. Looks like it's going to the top of the eighth. So let's root for the good guys. Hey, Christy Lewis, how you doing? Hey, ATL Georgia Faithful. Also tomorrow night, it'll be Debo and myself, T Will and Debo Vibe show. We're switching to evenings, so we're gonna do a show tomorrow night, probably around 8 or so. And yeah, tune in. And then of course Friday morning is breakfast with One Time for the Fan, right? So we'll see you there. And then of course Friday night we got a show, myself, Jordan, and Debo. And Saturday we are doing a podcast on the movie The Thunderbolts. Which is a Marvel movie.
Which
So
is, I think, is trying to bring Marvel back right now.
yeah,
Marvel did
yeah,
drop some movies recently that fans are like, this y'all getting to be like DC now.
yeah,
Thunderbolts might be what can save, not save Marvel, because Marvel's always going to be Marvel, but what can at least give Marvel that boost to get ready for a Doomsday and the new
yeah,
Avengers that's going to be coming out in the future, and
yeah,
so on and so on. Fantastic Four too as well. They're trying to pan in some new stuff. So T.Y., I can't wait to see that Thunderbolts
yeah.
review
So
too as
that one
well.
will be me and Jordan. That'll be me and Jordan Jack. So yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you for everybody who came in the chat. Look, we do this for you and because of you, and we couldn't do it without you. We thank you. I want to thank God. Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up, giving me the ability to come in and just talk Falcons and relate to you guys, because there's nothing better in the world than doing that. Last but not least, hey man, I want to thank you, Mr. Jack Spade, and you, Mr. Eric Parker, wherever you are. And there you go, Jack. It's on you.
He's in the garage moving these boxes before it
Oh
starts to
wow.
rain again.
Damn. Okay.
So
Woo.
big shout out to
Okay.
Eric Parker, man.
Oh wow. You get all the
Falcon
smoke.
fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. 82 Money Carlos said, I'm gonna run this back. Been in the field all day. Get that money, brother. Pam Jackson, shout out to everyone. Have a blessed, peaceful night. Great show. We're
Night,
just
Pam.
talking Falcons football. I'm glad you all are enjoying it. Y'all have a great night. That's what it's important. Eric Parker wants to let me know what the profile picture looks like. He's still listening. Eric's hilarious, man. Falcons fans, look, breakfast with One Time for the Fan is back Friday morning again. Talking Falcons football around 9, 9:15, 9:30. Just set your notification bell on YouTube so you guys can get it. Sunday nights, depends on how the golf looks. I'll be able to come back over here and talk Sunday. But next week, Wednesday, we're going on the road. We're going to talk home games. We're going to talk Falcon schedule. We're going to talk all that. But we're going to give y'all some stories. I know fans are going to be traveling next week. They're going to be booking their hotels and their flights. They want to go to San Fran. They want to go to Arizona. Jack, what are you guys doing? What's going on? Hey, tell me about the bus trip to Tampa. I got y'all. Next week, Wednesday. So Falcon fans, we got a whole week of One Time for the Fan. And, of course, tune into your Falcons. Oh, the international games information should be dropping soon for who gets to play the Colts. Of course, Falcons have marketing rights in Germany. So hopefully, don't forget, we have an away game against the Colts. So fans are speculating, is it us? Let's find out. I know we're not playing in London or in those places, but fans are thinking that, hey, it could be maybe Indianapolis. Maybe it could be Indianapolis. right? But if not, we'll find out next week, Wednesday, when the Falcons drop their schedule. I can't wait to find out anything. What's this?
I'm sorry.
Keep an eye out for P. Diddy. Oh, God, not P. Diddy.
Damn,
Come
Craig is a savage, boy.
on. Not P. Diddy, man.
Damn,
All
Craig.
right, Falcon fans, let's go ahead and get up out of here. Come on, Come on, Craig.
Oh, Craig.
And Ray Fitty. Ray Fitty. Come on now, Ray 50. Don't come. Don't do that again. Big shot to everybody.
Ray 50 dropping
See y'all
in your
breakfast.
window, man.
Hey, breakfast with one time for the fan. T-Will, have a great night, brother. Chat.
You too, brother. Rise up.